I've had a lot of people ask me over the years what kind of seats I have in my Trans Ams in other posts or on Facebook or places like that. And I figured I would do a video just explaining what I have in both of my cars. So I've had a lot of different seats in Trans Ams. I've tried Corbo, I've tried Brom, I've tried 6LE when they were around. One of the big problems I had with all those other seats is when you use the planted brackets, it makes you sit a couple inches taller than stock. And I'm kind of tall, I'm 6'3". So with those, my head is literally touching the T-top, which as you can imagine is pretty annoying. Now maybe if I would have tried to mount them to the factory sliders, I would sit a little lower. The other issue with them all is they always have a lever here to flip the seat back forward. And that lever is also your recline. So every time you access the back seat, you basically mess with your recline and you have to find your happy spot again. So let's start with the red car first. I found these on eBay, I think about 5 years ago. I did a full video of these back then. These are done in black vinyl with double red stitching. They're from Thailand off of eBay. I think I paid $500 for it. I can't remember. And eBay records don't go back that far. They came as you see them. Shipping was about $200. Very, very comfortable. This is the LXC. I'm not sure what the X stands for. The C stands for comfort, which means this lower leg support slides out. You know, if you have long legs, gives you a little support. So that's the LXC. And then these are the LSC. S stands for sport. You can see the difference. These side bolsters are really, really aggressive. The bottom is different too. The lower leg support also slides in and out. This one's slightly out. The other one is completely in. Again, gives you a little support, a little different shape, very comfortable. And what's really cool about this one is it actually has power recline and it has built-in seat heaters. So I have the power recline switch. I mount it down there, forward and back. I have it on both my seats. And both of these are mounted to the factory sliders. So the driver's seat is 6-way power. These are manual. They have the dial adjustment for the seat back. And then both of them have the lever, quick access to the back seat. You don't screw with your recline. And then they lock right back in place. And then also to mount them, I had to make my own little mounting kit. So I took some steel, bent it like a right angle, then attached a seatbelt loop to it. Very stable. That was my design one. On this car, I did a little cleaner. I actually drilled holes, put grommets in there. Can't really pick it up on my camera. But again, very stable, very nice seat. Local upholstery is always really expensive. It actually cost me more to get that back seat redone than what it cost for the front seats with shipping and everything from Thailand. Pretty crazy. Going on to the other car, I did the same thing. This also has the quick release lever to get to the back. And as you can see, I had the back ones redone. Now these are actually in ebony leather. So the back ones are redone, matching stitching in ebony leather. And I looked out on these. I went to see a guy on Facebook. He had some BMW Recaros out of like a 2000. I didn't care for them. I thought I didn't like the way the headrest looked. And he's like a Recaro seat hoarder, local guy. He probably had about a dozen sets of Recaros, and I saw these off to the side, and I said, how much you want for those guys? He gave me a price of, I think it was $1,700, which sounds like a lot, but it's actually not, since these were already brand new refoamed and redone in the exact matching grain. To give kind of an example of that, so if you look at what it cost, I think it was $1,100 to redo these back seats in leather, which to me seems crazy. So if you think about it, if you bought a set of beat up looking old Recaros, you had them restored, it would have cost probably $2,000 to get these redone in leather. So the fact I got these complete as you see them for $1,700 is insane. He even had brand new fishnet headrests. I reused the side trim piece, which is one thing I did not do on this car because I just didn't think of it. I kind of made my own little plastic trim. Here's a nice close-up of the seat. As you can see, the color and texture matches fantastic to the actual interior of a 2000 to 2002 Trans Am. It is ebony leather. I know they use ebony on a lot of GM cars. The guy that got these seats, he originally had them reupholstered for an SUV. He didn't say what it was. So I got really lucky. I do get a lot of people asking because of headrests, like, hey, aren't those out of a Fox Body Mustang or a 1982 Trans Am? The answer to that is no. Recaro offered these headrests in pretty much every seat they sold, late 70s to probably late 80s. So you can get this headrest in any seat. What's kind of cool with Recaro, what they did, they still make a version of this seat today, the LXC. They don't have the slide down. They don't have this part where it slides out. They call the new seat the Specialist, and it looks pretty much identical. And one thing that's neat about it is they kept the headrest posts identical. So you can actually buy a brand new Specialist seat, and you can take one of these 1986 headrests, and it'll pop right in. Back to the blue car. To find ones with power recline, I can't find history of that anywhere. I have no idea what type of car these came out of. I can't find them in the Recaro catalogs back in the day that it was even an option, because they would always have that knob adjuster, and it doesn't. The fact that it has power recline that works perfect on both seats and built-in seat heaters. Now, the guy I bought these off of, like I said, he was kind of a Recaro hoarder. He told me that these were actually out of a 1986 Ferrari. They had to get rid of the knob adjuster that's on the side back here for the Ferrari because the interior is a little tighter and you couldn't get your hand. It would actually hit the door panels. It was too tight. So he even had the original seats covers that came off, the original leather seat skins. And it was that like camel tan that you would see in an old Testarossa Ferrari. Let me put a picture here. Whether or not he's correct on that, I don't know. Don't really care. Bottom line is the seats are fantastic, very comfortable, and since they are an OEM style seat, they are crash test rated, unlike all those cheap eBay seats and Brom and Cypher and all those other seats which are not crash tested. I even emailed Corbu one time and asked them, do you guys crash test your seats? And they said no. The problem, what usually happens with them, is if you get rear-ended, the seat recline, they have that handle down here like I talked about, the mechanism will fail, and when you get rear-ended, the whole seat back will go flying into the back seat. Now, if there's no one behind you, you'll probably be all right. But if you have kids sitting behind you or anything like that, you're probably going to break their legs when that happens. So I love Recaros. You can find these. There are some groups on Facebook called like Recaro Marketplace or Recaro Craigslist. They're on eBay. Look around. They're hard to find. It literally took me about 5 years of searching until I found this set, and I just lucked out that they were local and had the whole power recline option. So that's pretty much about all I have to say about these seats. Said they're very comfortable and I love them. So thanks for watching.